Ravi was a software engineer in Bangalore, working long hours in a job that paid well but left him emotionally drained. Over time, he had come to believe that modern life was becoming devoid of emotions, with everyone caught up in their careers. He often feared that if he married someone with a similar lifestyle, they would end up living a mechanical, work-driven existence, a life without joy, passion, or connection. Yet, the idea of marrying someone who would give up her own career aspirations to stay at home seemed both unrealistic and selfish. Economically, it was impractical for one income to support two people comfortably, especially in a city like Bangalore. Still, he longed for a partner who would value emotional connection and shared dreams over the relentless grind of corporate life. After countless failed attempts at arranged marriage and watching marriage brokers lose hope in finding him a match, Ravi decided to stop looking. The rejection and lack of alignment with potential partners left him deeply disheartened. Feeling lost, he decided to take a week-long holiday to the Western Ghats to reconnect with himself and reflect on what he truly wanted from life. Growing up in a concrete jungle, Ravi had rarely experienced the serenity of nature, and this trip felt like his last chance to find some clarity. One afternoon in the office break room, Ravi was discussing his travel plans with his friend Prashant. Shwetha, a colleague, overheard their conversation while resting nearby. Curious, she asked Ravi about his trip. Hesitant at first, Ravi opened up about his frustrations with life and his desire to escape into nature. Shwetha couldn't help but laugh when he shared his views on marriage, but quickly became intrigued by his travel plans. Coincidentally, she and the entire project team had also been granted a week off after a year of intense work. Spontaneously, she expressed interest in joining him on the trip. Ravi was unsure about taking a female colleague along, especially given his traditional mindset and the potential for gossip. But he shrugged it off, thinking, what difference does it make? No one wants to marry me anyway. The next morning, they set off on Ravi's bike at dawn. Their itinerary was loose, with plans to visit Chikmagalur, Shivamogga, and other scenic spots. They decided not to overplan and instead embrace the unpredictability of the journey. Riding through the Hassan Road, they stopped at roadside eateries, savoring simple village meals. For Shwetha, it was a revelation. She had grown up in an urban bubble and had never experienced rural life so closely. She eagerly clicked photos, captivated by the simplicity and warmth of village life. Ravi, on the other hand, immersed himself in the tranquility of nature, silently asking the trees and hills why he felt so alone. The next morning, they reached Mulliyanagiri Hill at sunrise. The sight was breathtaking. Clouds so close they seemed tangible, the air crisp and cool, and the world bathed in golden light. For Ravi, it felt like the answer to his unspoken questions. He glanced at Shwetha, who looked ethereal in the morning light, her joy infectious. In that moment, something shifted in his heart. He realized he was no longer alone. She had become a part of his journey. As they continued their trip, they grew more comfortable in each other's presence. They explored forests, went on a safari, and even shared a tent one night in the wilderness. While Shwetha viewed their companionship as purely platonic, Ravi found himself grappling with newfound emotions. The night in the tent felt endless to him as he lay awake, battling the storm of feelings swirling inside him. By morning, he decided to suppress his emotions, fearing rejection. On their ride back to Bangalore, Shwetha, seated behind him, broke the silence. Ravi, can I ask you something? Why do you think a woman should sacrifice her career for marriage? Isn't that a bit selfish? Ravi smiled at her bluntness and replied, let me ask you something first. What did you dream of becoming when you were younger? Caught off guard, she hesitated before answering. I wanted to be a singer. I trained in classical music for 6 years, but life happened, and I let it go. Why are you asking? Ravi's voice softened. I've never really known what I wanted from life. I just followed the path society laid out for me. But when I think about marriage, I don't want my wife to sacrifice her dreams for money or stability. I want to support her journey, whatever it may be, so I can share in her joy. That's the life I want, a life where we grow together. Shwetha was moved to tears. Ravi, I've misunderstood you so badly. You're not selfish. You're a gentleman. Whoever marries you will be very lucky." As Ravi's heart swelled with emotion, he stopped the bike abruptly in the middle of the jungle. Shwetha, startled, asked, "What's wrong?" "There are tigers around here." He stepped off the bike and gestured for her to do the same. They stood facing each other, the dense forest enveloping them. "Shwetha," he began, his voice trembling, "for the past 2 days, I've wanted to say something. I've never felt like this before. Spending this week with you has shown me a side of life I'd forgotten existed. I want to be a part of your journey. Will you marry me?" Shwetha was stunned, her eyes welling up. "Ravi, you're a wonderful man, but this is so sudden. I don't even know if I can be the person I once dreamed of being. What if I fail?" He stepped closer, taking her hand. "It doesn't matter to me whether you succeed or not. I just want to see you sing, to see you happy like a koel singing in the trees. That's enough for me." Tears streamed down her face as she confessed. "Before this trip, I told my parents yes to a guy they'd chosen. I thought it would be my last journey as a single woman. But now I'm not sure. I want my life to be as adventurous as this week has been. Promise me one thing. If I take this leap with you, you won't let me regret it." Ravi smiled, his eyes glistening. "I promise. In fact, when we get back, you can resign, and I'll help you prepare a great resume for your singing career." She laughed through her tears. "You idiot. Singers don't need resumes. This isn't an IT job." They both laughed, the tension melting away as they embraced. A year later, they were married. Shwetha started teaching music from home, her talent quickly earning her a reputation in the neighborhood. Her students adored her, and soon she was earning more than Ravi. Playfully jealous, he would tease her, "I should quit my job and join your classes. Maybe I'll become the next big thing in music." Their life was far from conventional, but it was filled with love, laughter, and mutual respect. A true partnership built on shared dreams and unwavering support.